Okay. You know what? We're so far away from that camera. I don't think it's casting any light on us whatsoever. Can you hear me okay, Christine?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. I think we should be all set then. I'm excited to talk about this one. Yeah. Anyways, guys, welcome to the Animeversal Reviews podcast here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and YouTube channel, part of the big LRM on online.com family. So go there every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. What am I missing? Oh, sponsored by the good folks over at Grow Generation. A little bit more from them later on in the episode. I am Kyle Malone, joined by my wife Christine, and as usual, our husbando across the Appalachians.
Yep.
Brian, what's up, bud?
Hey.
Man, yeah, that's right. I made poster for our studio setup now. So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. We have this, so you can see we're talking about Classroom of the Elite season 1, because season 2 starts today, tomorrow, whatever it's gonna be by the time you're watching this. Maybe it's already been out. But it's an interesting anime that takes a lot of this stuff that we all experience in high school, as far as like interpersonal relationships, expectations of faculty and peers, and then it CWs it to a degree, as far as, makes it over dramatic. It exaggerates it, but it doesn't go with the CW corny. it amps everything up to 11, and you get some really disturbing shit going down. I loved the series. We watched it on a whim, Christine and I, a few weeks ago, just kind of expecting that maybe it would. I need a little bit more volume. That maybe it would be more funny. Nope.
No, it was not what we were expecting, but we were not disappointed.
No, not at all. So we recommended it to Brian, and Brian picked it for review this week, and we are going to be covering season 2. Christine and I will start with the first episode. Brian's got other plans, and he'll be back in with us the next week. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that until Chainsaw Man comes out, and hopefully we'll be able to juggle them both, but we'll see. Christine, just initial reactions. We'll do everything spoiler free before the ad, and then we'll get into spoilers. But what'd you think of this show when we first started watching it, and the first episode, which is all very very just kind of plain and up front until the very end, and getting what'd you think getting into this?
When we first put it on, and they're on the bus and stuff, it's there's not really much of expectations. I didn't think it was going to be as dark as it was, and as soon as we meet the male character, he's got some dead eyes. I didn't know what that was about, but I'm like, okay, that's fine. And you get introduced to the class, you see everybody, and you're like, something's up. Don't quite know. But yeah, it's I'm expecting something to happen, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Surprised by a few things along the way in the season. But I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I can't wait till tomorrow for us.
Yeah. So Brian, we kind of hyped the show up to you a few episodes ago, and what'd you think?
Yeah, I didn't, even with your hype, I was still a little unsure what it was, because you were like, "What's like in high school?" And I was like, "Okay." But then once
was I wrong?
No, I mean it is. Well, technically, the first half is.
Yeah.
But once you get to the end of the first episode, it's like, okay, okay, I see what we're doing here. And as it progresses, like you said, it's not a comedy at all. There's some fun, there's a funny episode.
Oh yeah.
There's somewhat of a comedic episode around the middle, but no, it's not a comedy. It's a very serious anime. It's very dark at times. As for the eyes, I had a theory on the eyes with in terms of budget. You know, the animation's fine, but it's not the best in the world. And so it's interesting that every single character's eyes are very unique and just not natural. And I think it was a way to highlight the characters and show something aesthetically interesting with the characters. Because every single character's eyes are just wild in terms of the color scheme.
Yeah.
I thought that was very much an artistic idea that they had. I don't know.
Yeah, I found the color to be very, very of the eyes, very both interesting, and also like you said, like you pay attention to it because it's that standoutish, you know. Like I said, we watched it thinking it was going to be a comedy, and I was just floored by it. I like Ayana Koji, the lead male, and I love Horikita, the lead female. They're both very interesting characters, and man, you think it's going to go one way with them, and it keeps throwing you for loops. Leave Saris alone. She doesn't like playing with you, dog. Well, every now and then she does. The other cat, Kione, she loves the dog. Anyways, excuse me. The side characters get a lot of love in this, and that's what I really like. Is it feels like a school. It's not even just the one class. You know, Christine was making a joke before we started about the different characters that, you know, how to identify them by description, because there are a lot of names. But you get into the other classrooms, especially Class B, where there's some potential allies in this, like, Hunger Games meets, you know, Riverdale, I guess.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it's like Survivor, some kind of like reality show, but it's in high school, and it's strange.
It's a non-violent battle royal.
Yeah. So far, mostly non-violent.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I do love like Christy was saying, they include the other classes as well. It's not just this one group, and it's not that the other classes are just throwaway or only one person matters. The whole school is its own character in a way, and that I find to be really, really intriguing. Plus, all of the voice actors. I mean, this is a Doctor. And I know a lot of these voice actors do a lot of roles, but we all started this podcast because of Dr. Stone. So it's interesting hearing Kohaku come out of the lead female. Ginro as the lead male doesn't sound like his Ginro voice at all. The only one I haven't really heard in here so far is Tsukasa. Chrome's voice actor's in here somewhere. Senku's in here. And Gen is in here as well, playing the dude with the red hair. What's his name? I forget it. Pseudo. Yep, Pseudo. Brian McInnes is doing Pseudo. So it's got a great son of a bitch, guys. I was not recording. I was recording on backup. That's fine. I was recording on backup. I wasn't recording the intro. Anyways, guys, so for several minutes, we're going to have just some standby because I'm not going to
restart.
No. The backup was going. So, yeah, I'll put something in front, guys. Sorry about that. I did a trailer reaction earlier today. My brain is a little shot. So bear with us. Sorry about that. It's a great cast. They do amazing work, and what did you think, Brian? You know what? I am completely thrown off, so we're just gonna go ahead and take our word from our sponsors. It's a little early, but that's all right. Like I said, my brain is shot.
It's tough to talk without spoilers, actually.
Yeah, it is, and I think part of that was what I was getting confused about, and then I realized that I had OBS up on the big one of the big monitors instead of big 20 7 inches, not big. I need like a 36-inch ultra wide or whatever. Keep saying
No.
this. Anyways, guys, we're gonna take a word from our sponsors, and we'll come back and talk some spoilers.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation offers the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
It'll work. Thank you, Grow Generation, for sponsoring the episode. Really, really do appreciate it. And I realized that my backup has cameras on it, so you might see us. We'll see. Okay, depends on how much effort I want to put in into the first 10 minutes of the thing. So spoilers. There's your spoiler warning. Let's go ahead and dig into it. Brian, since you just finished the show, man, what are your kind of thoughts on Ayano Koji and the cast, man? What you got?
Yeah, there's so much mystery behind this show, and I brought up Battle Royale because there are similarities in terms of, okay, this is a government-run thing. What's the point? Initially, you're like, oh, it's just students, they'll, you do well and you'll progress in life. But it's like, no, it feels like there's more to it than that. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. But then you start getting flashbacks of the lead character. They're confusing to me. Why? There's a lot of mystery behind this show, and I very intrigued as to where they're going with it. But yeah, I loved all the politicking and all the that last episode was just fantastic. Like, I had a big smile on my face, and it's like I thought he was plotting, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what he was doing or what was going on, and they give you the big reveal. But I don't want to go into all the darker elements and stuff, but just my general impression of the characters. Like you said, the first half of the show is really sort of setting everyone up. The trial portion was important because it sort of showed you who was trying to take who out for what reasons. And it's all really a prologue for the second half, because that's when you need to know who is who and sort of the conflict between the classes and the competition. So the first half is setting everyone up. Second half is the conflict, if you will. And
yeah. Christine, what about you? You got any favorites or thoughts on characters?
Thoughts on characters? Yeah, like I know one thing I was thinking of. I knew Kushida was fake. Like, I mean, it was kind of obvious when everyone is like trying, like everyone's fine being her friend, and she's openly like, I want to be friends with everyone.
She was that
I'm
fake.
I didn't. I thought she was just.
I didn't think she was that dark, but I knew she was fake, and I didn't know how deep it went. But I'm like, you want to be friends with every single person, and you're this bubbly, and everybody loves you.
Anime.
And it's
That's
like,
what
I don't
thought.
trust
I was just
you.
like, it's especially those first two episodes,
No.
and a chunk of the third. I felt like we were just watching what might be kind of like a standard drama, so I didn't see it coming.
Oh, well, yeah, for me, it's like I didn't know how deep it went and how dark she would be. But, and then with Ayano Koji, that dude's a psychopath. Like, oh my God. And it just, like, the characters are really cool. So many different great personalities. What's the guy's name? The one that took off. You remember? The blonde one that's in love with himself.
Looks like Dio from JoJo.
Koenji.
Yeah, that guy.
I love
That's a great character.
Koenji.
Oh.
He's like Magma meets Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
That's a great description of the
Yes,
personality.
it
Yeah.
Magma from Dr. Stone and
Gaston too.
Yeah, I think I said that. They're watching. He does something with alcohol, I think, and I was like, okay, Gaston.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I dig it. Again, all of the side characters show some sort of importance. Class C and their leader, what was his name? That might be. There's a lot of names here.
I think I got it. What?
Yeah,
Uh,
redheaded dude,
yeah,
long
this
hair.
guy.
Yeah, exactly. Ryuan. Ryuan is a very interesting antagonist in this season because, well, like Christine said, Ayana Koji is very, very much suspect, and you even though this guy in Class C is doing shady shit, the stuff that goes down on the island with him, like the amount of plotting and planning he, like, all of the class leaders were doing was great, but his and the willingness to really just give his class a treat and then say, hey, everyone, you're sick, go home and I'll hide out in the woods. It showed something, because that was such a big reveal on his character and what he's willing to do, because up until that point, every time you see him, he's got lackeys, other people are doing things for him, and here he gave his whole class a blast, spinning points like there was no tomorrow.
The 0-point strategy. I love
0-point strategy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
What did you think about that reveal, Brian, and some of the other things on the island?
Like you said, you set him up as someone who, he only wants the best, and he's just not going to go for playing these games. And then you realize, no, he wants to win just as bad as the others. And yeah, like you said, he looked a little disheveled and dirty, and he was willing to, stay there by himself in the rain and in all the crap, just so he could get the advantage and get more points. Of course, it didn't work out, which was great. But yeah, like I said, those last couple episodes, you're just like, how is this all going to play out? It wasn't until the end that I realized that she was the girl they sent was a spy. At first I thought maybe, but then I was like, no, I think she was really kicked out. And then I was like, well, maybe no. It had me, I kept guessing, for a second, and then it was obvious, but good to the writing that I actually was fluctuating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ayana Koji just sees it coming, and it's funny, like they show throughout the season, like his backstory, and something that came to mind for me was Aperture Science. And it's like all this testing done with him, and it's like, with the game Portal, Shell's trying to escape and stuff, but him, it's like he wants to keep on testing, it seems like, and it's, I don't know, it's like it's bred some kind of weird person, and I'm kind of interested in seeing like just what all he's gonna do next season.
Well, you wanna I'll check the camera, but I don't think. Oh, you know what? It's fireworks. I forgot. So
yeah, they're going off here too.
Yeah. So, sorry. Shut the door though. At least, please. Brian, I'll throw this to you. I was gonna throw it to Christine. Well, here she is. So I'll let her go first on this. Ayana Koji's background is something that's very, very secretive here. They show little snippets. He's at least either been studied or experimented on. Something's gone on with the guy. But the interesting thing is just how talented he is. And Brian had mentioned this yesterday when we talked briefly, or the other day when we talked about doing this show. The scene where he interjects with what's her name's brother, the class president.
Yeah.
And he's got all these mad skills, and what was the other one? Was it swimming or something like that, or something else? He shows he's got really.
Like he knew he couldn't stop the guys from doing the creepy stuff in the girls' changing room when they were going swimming. So he's like, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna sabotage it. Kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like he's always like three steps. Yeah, he's always 3 steps ahead. It seems like, or at least 3.
And he chooses what his grades are. They point that out multiple times. He could probably get 100 on everything, or the highest score possible. and he's real strategic. He doesn't want him to know how smart he is. Why does he want to be in Class D? Because that even seems to be a hint that he didn't necessarily have to be in Class D.
I think it's part of like, because they show the backstory where all the kids leave one by one, where it's like where you fly under the radar and you're waiting to be the last one. I'm thinking that's part of his strategy, where he's
Maybe.
building people around him
With
to
the students,
help them up.
with the students at least, because they're all so focused on their own things that if he's not standing out, then yeah, but he's definitely stood out to his teacher.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, standing out is like attention can be negative with your peers. So for him, it's like the attention that he's trying to get is very little, and he's passing off what he does to others, you know. So it's like, I don't know, kind of weird.
Yeah.
We'll find out more, I guess.
What about Horikita? Like, what are your feelings on her right now, Christine, lead female?
I don't know. It's kind of, I guess it depends on, you know, talent, because like my brother made better grades than I did. And I'm the firstborn. But for her, it's the other way around. She's in his shadow and she's got a lot to prove. So for her, she's like Ron Weasley, you know, the youngest, and having to, you know, fight for something, and she's wanting to climb up, and, you know, I don't know how they're gonna climb out of Class D, because honestly I feel like they're set up to fail. But she really wants to be in Class A, and she feels like she's got a lot to prove, and it's definitely made her hard. She doesn't want any friends. She thinks she can do it on her own, and it's like, not necessarily, as now she can see, but she's still kind of a little cold.
Yeah.
At the end of the season.
I'm really curious as to, you know, we know her brother's a motivation, but I'm wondering if there's additional, even bigger motivators, like her parents or some grandparents, you know, a parental member that's pitted those two against each other, because he is a cold heart. Her brother is a cold, heartless son of a bitch too, putting his hands on her and shit. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, there's some people, why can't you be more like your brother?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of what she's experienced.
What you seeing there in Horikita, Brian?
Like you said, I think there's more with the family dynamics, and I want to know more. Why is the brother so cruel and sort of putting her down like that? You know, what is his motivation to do that? What would happen if she rose up with that? Would he be happy about that or not? You know, so I am curious about all that. You know, we get pretty early in the show, they sort of start revealing her backstory, and they didn't really go any further with it through the second half, I didn't think. Where with the lead Mel, more questions all opened up, especially at the very end of the episode, of the last episode, where you almost look at him like, is he a villainous character? Like,
yeah,
based on the little moment where he gives his little speech, you know, his internal monologue about his goals and how he'll achieve them. So, yeah,
okay. Well, before we get into the art and music, which is something we usually talk about when we wrap up seasons or throughout reviews when we're doing seasonal, kind of that last moment, you know, the last monologue, as Brian said, and Ayano Koji, you know, just showing he's got some determination, even still some vague goals, but some serious determination on it. And I don't know, Christine, he's all over the key work by himself for season 2. A lot of season 1 had a lot of the other class members, or at least Horikita with him. You think he's going to be kind of the loner coming into this second season? Are we going to get what are you seeing coming into season 2 with him, basically?
I think it's when, I don't know, I'm thinking more like with chess. Maybe he was like playing light, and then he's going to start, you know, getting a little more serious, and I don't know how hard he's gonna, like, how aggressive he's gonna be at achieving his goals. So I don't quite know how exactly he's gonna do that. But like I will admit I already saw the trailer, so for season 2, so it's like
I don't know
yeah,
if I
definitely.
watched it.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, it's definitely intense.
Yeah.
So
Brian, what are you thinking or feeling for season 2, man?
Yeah, I don't know. How do you step up from this season? I'm wondering, is there going to be another kind of challenge, like the island, or will there be something different? Will they move up? It's like, I don't know how long the manga is or how many seasons they plan on going, but it's like, if they're still D for the whole season, it's like we're treading a little water here. So that's another question. But yeah, as far as the characters and stuff, last season ended in a really good place as far as the setup for the next season. So we'll see.
Indeed. So we'll go ahead and talk a bit about the artwork. We already kind of mentioned it earlier, but also anything dealing with music. Honestly, I'm having a hard time remembering the music, and I'm thinking that's probably
Same.
because it wasn't good or bad. It's just anime music, which is fine. Do you remember anything about it?
I'm thinking right now, like, did they play music?
We don't really watch the OP for it. I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was my thing. And the ending, I don't know, Brian. Anything stand out for music for you?
Not at all. Coming off Spy Family, which I loved the music, and
yes,
it was. I watched this in 2 sittings. I watched the first 6 and the second 6, and it didn't stand out. I would say the music's was a weaker point in terms of, it's there, but
yeah,
It doesn't feel like it's lacking though. Like,
it's just there.
there's an intro and an outro, and whatever's in between is not memorable, but the story definitely is.
Yeah.
So it's not, there's no like taking away points for it.
There's a piece of music they play whenever there's like a serious moment where they're like contemplating something or something's being revealed, and it plays throughout the series. And they did use it to comedy effect in the swimsuit episode, where they were treating the scene and the music as intense as they would any of the other stuff. So I'll give them points for that, because the comedy on that was very clever, and they used the music to do it. Yeah.
Artwork, and the music thing might be budget as well, maybe potentially. Brian, you mentioned this has some interesting art in certain areas, but also kind of meh in others. And even with meh overall art style, I would say I like the character designs themselves, not just the eyes, but everyone's got a unique thing. Pseudo with the red hair with the lines going through it, the class C guy, Ryu and having the longer hair, and I don't know, you got any other thoughts on the artwork, Brian?
I mean, it's designed to sell certain merch. If you're into the waifu stuff, they have every category and every kind of haircut and body type imaginable. It was fine. I thought on that note, it's funny, going back to the swimsuit episode, every guy had like crazy abs. Like everyone's in like peak physical condition.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's not realistic.
But it's fine. Like I brought up the eye thing at the beginning. It sets it apart. Like, so the art's, it's there, it's fine, but it's nothing groundbreaking. There's nothing really that blew me away. But every single character has interesting eyes, and that does that stands out, and that's something that you do notice throughout the entire show. So that's clever.
Windows to the soul.
Yeah, it's clever. Yeah. It's cheap in terms of a way to grab the audience without having a huge budget, and yeah.
All right. Well, we will be covering. I almost always say Assassination Classroom. We have not watched that yet. Let us know in the comments if it's worth watching. But Classroom of the Elite season season 2. We'll be doing that starting, like I said, immediately after, almost essentially tomorrow, next day, whatever it is. And then keep an eye out for our mentioned Dr. Stone several times this episode, the Ryusui special. I know I butchered that. Is coming out next weekend as well. So we got a lot of anime content for you guys here on the Genreverse podcast network, and LRMonline.com as well. I mentioned the website. Go there for celebrity interviews on the LRM YouTube channel that are linked there, written reviews, opinion pieces, articles. Hey, look, I wrote something about Dr. Stone. There it is. All sorts of great things. If it's in geek and entertainment news, pop culture, we're covering it. All of the podcasts are accessible from there as well. We have reviews, comics, video games, everything. Great shows on the Genreverse include Breaking Geek Radio. They do a little bit of everything for weekly news, and usually have a movie or show review. The Daily Cup of Genre is back, so it's every day, Monday through Friday. So almost every day, but Monday through Friday, Manny and I discussing whatever the hell we want, because it's 5 days a week, so we got to fill it up with something. And then, of course, we've got the Cantina doing Star Wars news and reviews, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem. Can you guess what we do there? And yeah, the Genre Shot trailer reactions. I just did a reaction to Mushoku Tensei season 2. So check that out, and thank you to everyone that's been subscribing and enjoying the content. Really do appreciate it. All of our podcasts go up wherever you get your audio podcast from as well. God, that was redundant. Brian, tell them about your channel.
It's called Pulp Mythos. It's on YouTube. Talk about shows like Only Murders in the Building and Westworld. So yeah, check it out.
All right, guys. That'll do it for us. Social media information down below. We have a Discord server if you guys want to come on and talk anime, video
Are we gonna
games,
score it?
or anything. Oh yeah, good call, Brian. Jeez,
yeah.
thank you. Grades, guys. Yes, grades. We covered all that. Grades. Brian, what do you give season 1?
A-.
Okay, Christine.
Shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with A- too. Close to an A, not quite.
A- is across the board, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very, very good show. Highly recommend it. We should probably give grades back where the non-spoiler stuff is, so that way people know whether or not to see it. But hey, I put that stuff down in the description box below. Anyways, nothing else. Have a good one.